Hi, welcome to Manas Shil YouTube channel. Before we start, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Let's start the video. If you haven't watched the previous video, I'll link it in the description box, or you can click here. Chapter 4, Shattered Ambition. Mission failed. On Leon's side there were 3 people. On the other hand, Kagali's group had 5. However, Yuki was not moving. Tyr headed to ours, and Claude took on Footman. There were only 2 people left, but of course, Leon would have to deal with them himself. Under normal circumstances, defeat would have been inevitable. However, that was not the case. As Leon drew out his flame pillar, Kagali struck him with the ruined scepter borrowed from Michael. The impact of the mythical great weapon collision sent shock waves throughout the hall. At the same time, Leon heard a voice in his head. "Can you hear me? I want to negotiate." His prediction was correct. Yes, Leon nodded. "Thank you. I've got eyes on me. That's why I'm acting with that in mind. No matter how careful I am, it can never be enough." "You're right," said Leon with a look. The conversation was like a tightrope walk, with both sides playing out a fierce battle. Incidentally, Laplace's role was to relay the thoughts. Through the master-slave connection between Kagali and Laplace, encrypted information was being transmitted. Kagali sent the information to Laplace, and then retransmitted it to Leon. The reply from Leon was also encrypted and transmitted to Kagali through Laplace. The reason for using this particular method was to prevent Michael from reading her mind. Believing that not all of her thoughts could be read, she put up multiple barriers in the back of her mind. The reason she was so wary was because Kagali was about to betray Michael. Kagali had once been trapped in a grudge against Leon, but now that she was away from Michael, she had regained her composure. As a result, she decided that it would be best to join forces with Leon. As long as she could get to Ramrus's labyrinth, she could escape Michael's surveillance. And that mysterious slime would free Kagali and the others by any means necessary. Anyway, didn't you prepare some kind of connection passageway in case of emergency? I can't get to the labyrinth with magic, so if there's on, let me use it. There was also transfer magic, but that was a gamble. If she did any unplanned actions, Michael might tighten his control over her. Ideally, she wanted to evacuate directly to the labyrinth. If that was not possible, Kagali wanted them to be prepared to receive her and the others. "I see, I understand your situation. I'm just taking some time, but you're the one Michael wants, right? You have the purity, King, don't you?" "I won't deny it." Leon admitted that there was no point in hiding it now. The moment they attacked this country, he judged that the owner of the skill was already known. In that case, the words of Kagali and the others became more credible. With such a large difference in strength, there was no point in extracting information from Leon. They could simply disable Leon and take him to Michael. Besides, while Tyr and Footman were rampaging wildly, Alrus and Claude were still unharmed. If they really wanted to kill them, they would have been dead by now. In this situation, there was no point in acting like this. That's why he could be sure that Kagali's words were true. "I believe you. There is indeed a magic transfer circle in this castle that leads to Ramrus's labyrinth." "I knew it." Kagali's expression brightened as she realized that her plan was now more likely to succeed. Then, while crossing blades fiercely, she threw herself forward and enthusiastically engaged in negotiations. Leon, who had given up his suspicion of Kagali, wondered if he should simply nod. However, what came to his mind was Chloe's smile, the girl Leon loves. For some reason, that smile was not looking upon Leon's face, but on Remuer's. From the depths of Leon's heart, dark emotions began to well up. This is not jealousy. Absolutely not. Leon swallowed his feelings and endured it. Then he thought, Remuer would accept these people. It wouldn't hurt my conscience too much to put them through the trouble. Leon felt a little better, as if he didn't have to worry about it. He nodded his head, and began to confirm the arrangements. "So, are you sure it's just the 5 of you?" "Yes. There were other people who used to work for Yuki-sama, but I don't trust them. It's not like they're going to kill us if we leave them here, and there's no point in holding them hostage against us, so we're going to leave them behind. Wouldn't it be better to take them with you, to reduce the enemy's strength?" Leon was surprisingly kind. The reason why he is misunderstood and gives off a cold impression is because he is clumsy. Kagali sensed that too. "You're not what I thought you were. You didn't take it easy on me when I was your age." "It couldn't be helped. With the demon lord attacking, I couldn't afford to be calm either. I didn't want to prolong the battle and cause civilian casualties. She understood what he meant. If two demon lords of equal ability fought each other, the damage to the surrounding area would be extensive. In order to prevent that, the best option would be to aim for a short-term, decisive battle like Leon had. That's true. Besides, I was a full back then, so I have no right to complain. Forget it. Leon was caught off guard by Kiguli's reaction, because he had expected her to complain more. You've really changed. With that said, he muddled his words, changed his mind, and resumed the conversation. The magic transfer circle is located behind this room. This room itself is heavily guarded by a multi-layer barrier, so it's just a matter of opening the hidden door behind the throne. Thank you. So, what are you going to do? Michael's goal was to get Leon. We should run away together, Kiguli implied. Leon's answer, however, was clear and without hesitation. I am staying. If I was going to run away, I would have gone to Rimuru from the beginning. Kiguli nodded in agreement. Michael's rule is absolute, you know. However, there are also conditions. Worst case scenario, even if I were to be controlled, he could observe the process and come up with a way to deal with it. That was just one of the reasons, not all. Leon was really just trying to protect the people here in El Dorado with his own hands. That was the true intention of Leon Cromwell, the man who gave up being a chosen hero in order to protect the mixed races of human and demon. You really are a clumsy guy. For the sake of others, you're willing to throw yourself away. That's not the case. There are few people as vicious as I am. I tolerated the sacrifice of others because I wished to save the only one I loved. I will be the one to pay for it. These words showed Leon's resolve. Kiguli understood this and decided to respect Leon's wishes. She had her own priorities, and there was no need to try to persuade him. And so, the decision was made. Kiguli also informed Tyr and Footman about the situation through Lapis. Leon, on the other hand, had been talking to Alice and Claude. Both of them felt that the enemy was not serious, so they were convinced by Leon's explanation. The only thing left to do was to force Yuki to go with them. Leon gave Kiguli a look. In the direction of his gaze, there was a hidden door. Understanding his intent, Kiguli pretended to be blown away and destroyed the door. Seeing this, Lapis signaled to Footman and Tyr. Alris and the others helped in the act, and Footman and Tyr also flew to the hidden room, as if they were excessively blown away. Yuki-sama. Well, I guess it's my turn, huh? With that, Yuki leisurely made his way to the hidden room. Okay. Now all I have to do is get Leon to activate the magic circle. Kiguli was sure of their success. It had been a tightrope walk, but now she could escape from Michael. That's how it was supposed to be. However, it was here that fate had given up on Kiguli and the others. Michael, who was still in the Heavenly Star Palace, had discovered a bear's betrayal before Dino could report it. Michael was furious. It was the first time in his life that he had experienced this. He was furious that something had gone wrong with his plan. The cause, as it turned out, was his own naivety. In spite of his immense control of power, he had allowed himself to be led astray by trusting in the uncertainties of his companions, and this was the result. A bear had received the Salvation King, Azrael, and Michael knew it. At that point, he should have made sure of his domination. It was Michael's mistake not to do so. If he made a mistake, he'd have to make it up. Michael was furious, but calmly thought as such. As a result, he reinforced his control over the angelic skill owners currently under his control, with the ultimate dominion via Feldway. As a result, Kiguli's ego was also taken away. Just one more step. That step felt so far away. Feldway emerged from the broken door that led to the audience room. I was curious, but I didn't realize you were planning to betray me. All of you are fools who do not understand my cause. Seeing Feldway screaming in rage, Kiguli knew that the plan had failed. At the very least, she should try to let Lapis and the others escape. All it would take was a single command. And yet, she was unable to utter a word. It's useless. The ultimate dominion has taken complete control over you. Michael-sama is also angry. I let you do whatever you want. And then there's... Feldway's cold stare pierced Leon, who had stopped moving. It looks like our target was here as well. You too will be a loyal servant. Before Leon could even listen to those words, he had activated Purity King, Metatron, at full force. He was about to unleash a godlike blow with the desperate intent to kill. But it was already too late. Shit, I can't fight this. Loyalty towards Michael, whom he had never even met, began to well up, as if overflowing, from the depths of his heart. Leon's memories and knowledge remained intact, but his ego was being filled with ecstatic feelings. Chloe, The smile of the girl he loves, etched into his mind, was being overridden by an irresistible elation. In the same way as Leon, Kiguli's heart had also been stolen. Her loyalty to Michael outweighed her feelings for her dear friends. I'm always so naive. Kigali lamented in a terribly sad mood, but even that regret quickly disappeared. Chairman, you can't just give up now. I believe in you. Kigali heard a voice that confused her. However, it sounded like the voice of a child screaming through multiple layers of glass, and could not be heard clearly. Kigali, does the spell not work on him? Yes. Lapis is special, so he doesn't have to follow my orders. I see. Then he is unnecessary. The cold voice that seemed to have lost all emotion was transmitted to Kigali. Yes. You've been through a lot, Lapis. At the very least, I will take care of you with my own hands. Wait, Chairman. Lapis was the only one who was confused by Kigali's change. Tyr, Footman, Yuki, and even their former enemy, Leon, were all ready to watch, as if it was a matter of course. Kigali's rune scepter glowed in gold. I wouldn't just sit here. Lapis was about to give up on everything, when a figure suddenly appeared out of nowhere, and pushed him away. The person then flicked a destructive golden ray with her sword. Who the hell are you? I don't have time for formalities. But I'll tell you anyway. I'm Sylvia. I'm a very strong helper, so don't worry, and leave this to me. It was a beautiful woman with long and braided greenish silver hair. The thin dress with a silky sheen was made of a special material from the monster kingdom that could be used in battle. Her milky white legs glimpsed through the slit. But if you looked closely, you could see that she was also wearing denim shorts. That's wrong. It might have been intended as a precaution in the event of a fierce battle, but if that was the case, why not wear pants in the first place? Her fashion sense was the embodiment of selfishness, showing her strong will to not give up fashion. Even from that one thing, he was able to catch a glimpse of her personality. The woman called herself Sylvia. She was Leon's master, the one who had been called upon as a trump card. Lapis felt nostalgic when he saw Sylvia. Lapis was an undead elf created by Kigali. Perhaps it was because he had been a chosen hero before his death, but although he was never controlled by Kigali, almost all of his memories had been lost. That's why he did not remember that his real name was Sarian Grimwald, nor did he realize that Sylvia, the woman who had just saved him, was his wife. Nevertheless, he instinctively knew that Sylvia was an important person for him. I don't know about you, but I'm a real man. I don't want to be so pathetic as to leave this place to you all alone. Lapis was back on his feet. It was such a sudden turn of events that it had made it difficult for him to grasp the situation, but that was always the case. So, as always, he would just have to get out of this situation no matter what. You guys, if you're still alive, then get out of here. You look like you've been beaten to pulp by Tyr and Footman, and you might die, you know. Keeping his eyes fixed on Kigali and Yuki, he called out to Alice and Claude, who were lying in the corner of the room. They had managed to endure with recovery medicine, but the contents of their space-expanding waste bags were almost completely used up. At this rate, they would not be able to escape, yet they still snickered at Lapis's call. Hahaha, don't worry. I've taught my students never to run away in times of trouble. If I don't set a good example, then no one will follow me. Fufu, a knight should never abandon his master and run away. Both of them understood that they were already a liability, not an asset. Still, they did not run away because they were ready to give up their lives for Leon. Believing that Rimuru and the others would soon come to support them, they decided to buy time even at the cost of their own lives. You guys are idiots. Hahaha. I never thought I'd be praised by a clown. Claude Dono, I don't think that's a compliment. But I do envy you that you can still laugh. There was a small smile on Alice's face. Those who are determined are strong. Lapis thought to himself, I also can't lose. Let's start over. If we kill him, the chairman will be back to normal, right? I'll do my best, too. He said so, while glaring at Feldway. He suspected that Feldway was up to something, even more than Michael, who was not present. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy it.